see. How do I go live?
Okay. Is it showing me live yet?
No.
Okay, let's go to the chat.
Okay. Live or stream? I think I got you. Got it.
Okay, I don't know if you...
I got it.
Ah. Hello. So I don't know if y'all just got the if y'all want to join the live in the Zoom room, y'all can click on that link and you can go into the Zoom room. And then you'll be part of the live that way, which is kind of fun. We've done it once before. We're going to start out with some cards here. Welcome. Jesus he said he came over, or they said they came over from TikTok. So glad to see everyone here today. Let's see what we have going on. It is very interesting when we do it. I love technology. We have a love-hate relationship. So I appreciate everyone who has followed me over from TikTok. Let's see here.
There you go.
There we go. I had to admit all. All right. I had to get to my Zoom so I could start admitting people. Oh no, we're having some. If I start muting you, it's just because we're having some background noise. It's not that I don't want to hear your lovely voices. It's just that we are getting some background noises, and so muting y'all just to, so we don't get all that going on. All right, let's do some cards. We're going to start out some cards. I know there's just a few people here today. It kind of makes it fun. I came over from TikTok, so I appreciate everyone who came over from TikTok. Hi, Valerie. Let's see. Let me keep admitting people here. All right, Valerie, I don't think I've ever given you a card reading before, so we're going to do this card reading for Valerie. I have, if y'all can see my my setup here, I have my laptop going, my iPad, Dee's over here on my phone. I look all professional and junk. Okay, wow, Miss Valerie. Okay, I am seeing, Valerie, that there is a way that you're being pulled to go with your life. You look amazing. Have you lost some weight? Yes, you have. You look excellent. For those of you who are watching this live, if you want to join and get on for maybe part of a reading, click that Zoom link that is in the chat. So I'm seeing the Moon card, which is really about your intuition. So you're being called to go in a certain direction, and you really need some more information before you make a decision. This direction that you're being called in is something that you're intuitively being called to go on, but you're not extremely comfortable with it. But they are telling me that it is the way you need to go. You have all this knowledge. You think you need more, but you really have all the knowledge that you need, and you need to head in this new direction. And it's ending with the 2, which is really about this new direction will help you find balance in your life. Do you know what they're talking about?
Not really. Not really. It could be many things.
It feels like it has to do with your health.
Pardon me?
It feels like it has to do with your health.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So have you been having some health issues outside of what we've already known? Has something new come up?
No, but it's continuing, put it that way.
You know, but this is the first time, Valerie, they have shown me you getting control of it. They show me you actually wrestling it to the ground. Like, and you're not going, what I'm here, which I don't think you're going down, but it's you're not going down without a fight. Like it's you wrestling your health to the ground and you're like, no, I've got this, I'm doing it. But is there and something new that you've been called to do that you've been thinking about doing?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, so what they were showing me, the next card up was the Hierophant card, which is about gaining new knowledge. This is something that I see that you've seen. You're like, oh, I think I need more information about that. And it feels like it's a new doctor. Is there a new doctor you're trying?
It's not a new doctor, but it's a new medication they're suggesting. And I've been researching it. So you're absolutely on track.
Okay, very good. So it's a new medication. Okay, so now is this new medication something that you should try? So when I ask you that, what do you feel? I'm going to tell you what I felt, but first I'm going to ask you.
I'm thinking no, but we'll see.
What are you feeling, Dee?
I don't know.
She doesn't want to weigh in. I'm thinking that would be I think it would be good for you.
Okay. We may be going that direction.
But I'm seeing not the dosage that they're saying. There's something about the dosage.
Interesting.
It reminds me of one of the cancer medications they put me on. And I even questioned my doctor because, you know, she just says here, I said, well, is it based on weight? Because I'm 125 pounds and I promise you that not everyone takes this medicine. It's 125. No, they start you on it. I had major problems because they put me on too much of it. So I'm seeing them putting you on not as much.
That could be the case. We'll find out.
Thank you, Valerie. Keep me updated. I want to thank everyone who is joining and popping in. It's a kind of a different way of doing a live. The last time I did it this way, everyone seemed to love it. So hopefully y'all continue to love it doing this way where y'all can get to join a Zoom room. I am glad to see everyone here today. Let's do another card reading, then we'll roll into some spirits, if that's okay.
Right.
All right. Looking at the chats, I have like 5. Hi, Jenny. Aw, you're welcome, Miss Valerie. All right. Let's see. This card reading is going to be for Jaylene. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, but let's see what we have going on here. And then we're going to roll into some spirits. There is a gentleman here who is going to be the first up. He's letting me know that I thought he was going to give me real quick what he passed from. I'm feeling my whole body kind of shutting down. It's like it was one thing on top of another. So it wasn't like one illness that took him off this planet. It was like a bunch of things at one time. But let me do this card reading first. This is for Jaylene. Jaylene, the first thing I'm seeing is a beautiful card. It's a 10 of Cups. It's about abundance and great relationships. Next is the Queen of Cups. You are really coming into your own when it comes to how you navigate relationships in your life. The first 3 cards are cups. We have the 10 of Cups, which is all about abundance. Then we have the Queen of Cups with how you step into divine feminine. Then right after that, we have the King of Cups, which tells me, Jaylene, that you are very good about balancing your energy within relationships. A lot of people roll into relationships and there's a lot of talk about divine feminine, about divine masculine. We really need both to navigate this world correctly. And I'm hearing that you do a really good job of that. We're going to end on the card of 8 of Pentacles. Pentacles is about material goods and money. And I'm seeing that your ability to spend right now is being a little bit restricted. I'm seeing you kind of cinching up your waist when it comes to your belt, when it comes to your spending. But I'm hearing that after the first of the year, that restriction that you're feeling when it comes to your ability to spend will be lifted. All right. Thank you, Miss Jaylene.
Thank you so much. I really needed to hear this.
Well, I hope it helped. Thank you.
Yes, for sure. Thank you.
All right. Oh yeah. If anyone is interested in joining, please click on the Zoom link, and it will send you right into the room that we are, which is what is being streamed onto the YouTube channel. Kind of a different way of doing it. Okay, so now we have this gentleman who is stepping up. Let me get a drink. I've been talking for so many hours straight today. It's not me, it's this gentleman. All of a sudden I was about to say I'm parched. It's not me that's parched. I thought it was. But he's like, no, me. Like, I can't hardly talk now. Okay, so this gentleman, I get it now. You can stop, dude. This gentleman is letting me know that his whole body started just going downhill, but really I'm having a problem swallowing. I'm having a problem talking. Like, I can't hardly get my breath out. He couldn't hardly eat. It's this whole, I'm having a hard time breathing. Did someone say something? Okay. If this is your spirit, you can unmute yourself and just start and let me know. He is showing me that he served in the military. He is also letting me know that he didn't take care of himself. It's his fault. I disagree. He's saying it's my fault. He's showing me smoking, not eating right, drinking, and serving in the military, and he just did not treat his body well. When he got sick the first time, he is showing me that he did start listening. Like, he didn't stop smoking, but he cut back. He also stopped drinking as much.
My dad, Tom, maybe?
Okay, Miss Elizabeth, that describes your dad, Tom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. And what is this? Like, I just need to clear my throat. I have a hard time swallowing.
He had COPD, and toward the end, he was actually scheduled before he passed to go have a swallow test done because he couldn't hardly eat anything.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And you before, so he's never presented himself this way either.
Oh, okay, very good. I didn't know all of that. So now, for anyone who has seen me read before, I do require my spirits to present differently when I read them a second time, just so I don't think I'm reading from memory. Now, because I don't see Elizabeth's face, which is fine. I don't need to see her face. I don't remember her. Like, I only see Elizabeth's iPhone, so I don't know quite who Elizabeth is because I'm not seeing her face. So I certainly didn't remember her spirit either, but I appreciate that he followed. He says, I followed your rules. Like, it was so important for him to step up. Elizabeth's will be interesting. We'll get to his message. It was important for him to step up, and he didn't want to do anything that was going to keep me from bringing him up. So he wanted to make sure he presented differently, because if I remembered him, I wouldn't have brought him up. I would have thought I was reading from memory. Elizabeth, have you gotten into a new relationship recently?
Oh, no, ma'am. I've been married for 32 years.
Okay. Who around you has gotten into a new relationship? Someone you're close?
Dating a guy just for the past year, maybe.
Okay.
Out of a 5-year relationship, started dating this guy.
Okay, very good, very good. Are they talking marriage yet?
Oh, yes.
Very good.
Wants to finish his college first.
Yes. It is. This is a good relationship for her. I'm seeing that I know that he's showing me they've had their problems, but a lot of that is just the push and pull that comes from a relationship. He really likes this guy. And I'm seeing an engagement ring. That's the reason I asked if they were talking marriage yet.
We pick at them, but yeah,
He's also showing me, Elizabeth, that your dad is the one who has been. Now I hear your accent. So you're from the South?
Yes, ma'am. I'm from Alabama.
Because he's showing me some scenes that reminds me of the South, and I told him, I said, I can't take that. I can tell from the way she's talking she's from the South, because he is showing me pecan trees. And just these big, beautiful trees that you only see in the South. And he is talking about, there is one. I was like, why are we talking about trees? He is saying how you love trees. He is showing me that when we first moved into our house, which we live in Nebraska, we don't have a lot, but we bought this house because of some of the trees, and we had to have one cut down, and I cried. And he's saying that you have the same relationship. You love nature.
I do.
You're very connected to Mother Earth, Gaia. He's also saying that he is the one who's been making the lights flicker. So your dad is what I call a haunting spirit, and I say that in a funny manner. He just pulls out all the stops to let you know he's around. He makes the lights flicker. He is the one who's been sending you the squirrel. Now, it has to be a squirrel that's doing something weird, like staring at you or looking at you. It can't be one that's down the street and up in a tree. Also, he is saying that you have seen him. You have seen something moving out of the corner of your eye, and you turned, and there he was.
All the time, every day at work.
Yeah, he's saying, that's me, honey. Also, your dad wants to acknowledge that he can hear you talking to him. You talk to him all the time, and he wants to acknowledge that he can hear you. He's like, you and him can solve the world's problems. So you just must bring him everything. Like, Daddy, did you see that? Daddy, do you know what happened?
Yep. And he wouldn't listen to any of the other kids but me. He wouldn't go to the doctor, and I could go, Dad. And he goes, I told y'all not to call her and tell her nothing. Would go.
It's because you can be, and he's saying this, so let me get to the end of it, because in the beginning you're going to be like, what? He's saying you're bossy, Elizabeth, but you're bossy with a heart of gold, and he knew that.
Yep.
A lot of other people can be self-serving, and you wanted nothing but him to be okay, and so you very much just had a heart of gold. My moderator, for those listening, was late, so Dee stayed to help me, and so my moderator just, did y'all hear that truck come flying down the driveway? He's probably like, I hear it go, brrr. He's trying to get like, oh no, I'm late. I don't need him now. Now he has my dog's cussing. I don't need him now. I got it. Thank you, Elizabeth, for letting me. Oh, your dad. No, he's not done. He's laughing because this scenario that's happening right here in my house, the chaos is constantly going on. He said it's constantly going on in your house, and how much you love it, and how much your dad loves being a part of it. It's chaos and love.
I just got 2 new puppies, so it's very chaotic here.
Yes, and those, I don't know if y'all can hear those dogs barking, but we have 2. Can you hear them? Yeah, I imagine, because they're in the living room. And
When he went to my husband at the hospital Wednesday when he had surgery, his surgery is supposed to be 45 minutes, and it was 2.5 hours. And I feel like he was with me and my husband. And I think
he was with you. And did your husband mention like seeing anything during this surgery?
No, he has not.
Your husband did some traveling during that surgery. Did he almost not make it?
The doctors didn't say anything about that, but his oxygen was dropping really like down in the 70s.
Yeah.
So they had a hard time getting him to wake up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now my moderator is peeking in here. Mm-hmm.
Y'all good?
Mm-hmm.
You want me?
No, I have D now.
Oh, you're way better off.
So your dad was acknowledging that, and I'm not saying the doctors should have told you, because everything was fine and they took care of it, but there were some scary moments I'm hearing in that.
I could feel that something was wrong, but I couldn't do anything.
Right. Exactly. I mean, what are you going to do except sit there and worry? So yes, your dad was with you, and he is acknowledging that there was something that they weren't telling you about.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for letting me read your dad. I appreciate it. All right. Thanks, Dad. Okay. Next gentleman stepping up. Okay. So I knew what was going on, but I was like, what? Sometimes you think you're making this crap up. So he is showing me, he's very specifically showing me a peach pie. Specifically a peach pie. And so when I was in my head thinking, oh, it's a pie, he is pulling out all the stops. He's showing me, I just have recently been eating some peaches. And so he was showing me peaches, the frozen peaches. I had a peach smoothie. So he's showing me all these peaches, which also says something about his personality. When you're reading spirits, it's not just what they show you, it's how they show you. And he's very much showing me being very funny. And he is also letting me know that though he ate it in moderation, like he wasn't something that he ate all the time, and that he was heavy and had issues, even though I'm feeling he shouldn't have been eating it. He's not admitting that, but I'm just feeling this, there's underlying that he shouldn't be eating it. So how I'm feeling that is because he's taking his plate and taking a bite and looking around like, can anybody see that? And taking a bite. But he says, I was dying. Who cared? I was, he's not, he's like, I had one foot in the grave and the other one slipping in. I was going to have my pie. I don't know if it was that bad, but it just says a lot about his personality. He was very funny. He's also showing me that he lived on a street where it feels like there was family around him. I just feel like I'm walking out of my house. Which way are we going? Either way, I could go either way. And there was going to be, well, like when I'm walking out of, he's showing me walking out of his house, to the right or to the left was going to be family, even across this street. But he has me turning to the right, and I'm going a few houses down because he said they were my favorite. Does this gentleman sound familiar to anyone?
It might be my Uncle George. One of the last things I did prior to his death was I gave him peach pie.
Oh.
Plus, there were family that lived on both sides of his house.
Very good. So now, Valerie, when you walked out of his front door and went to the right, who was a couple of houses down?
My dad was the next house, and then it was his sister, and across the street were two other sisters.
Okay, very good. Okay, so he is showing me going out, and he did acknowledge, like I said, you could go to the left, right, or even across the street. He was showing me there was people around, but he's very specifically taking me out and going to the right. So did you live in the house with your dad when your uncle lived there?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Because he was taking me to the right. I don't know if you heard that. He had me going to the right, and he's like, they were my favorite. They were my favorite. And he was showing me a female. He wasn't showing me, and so it makes sense now, because he wouldn't have shown me Valerie, just so y'all know. He wouldn't have shown me a picture of her. I could see it was a female. So he very much liked you. Almost,
I liked him.
almost more than his own children, he is saying. Because you didn't have any, so there must be a story there. You'll see Valerie laughing like, yeah. So probably because you didn't have any expectations out of him, except you just wanted to love him.
That's it. He was my godfather.
Oh,
as
very
well as my
good.
uncle.
Very good. Again, I know I had given you a card reading in the beginning, and we're talking about this new medication that you should be taking. He's saying, you got this, honey. You got this.
Okay. Glad to hear that. Glad Uncle George agrees.
He is also showing me, though, the same thing I was seeing with the cards. He's showing me the medication. Just tell them be careful. Like, question them on the dose. I'm not saying they don't know what they're doing. I'm sure they do.
Great.
They're intelligent people. But just question the dose is what I'm hearing.
Got it.
All right. Thank you, Valerie.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So Jessica said that she would like to see some cards. So I'll just go. You think it's the first time you've ever seen Ken's face, is it? No, I'll read friends too. It doesn't matter to me. Friends, I read all kinds of people. I can't believe it. I haven't ever seen Ken's face before. All right. This is for Miss Jessica. Card reading. So when you're reading cards, and for anyone who's interested, I have the Divine Collective, and Sunday we're going to be doing a group reading, but Monday night we're going to be practicing cards. So everyone gets to we're going to talk some about cards and how they work. So it just said to stop. I was about to shuffle again, and they said nope. So there you go, Miss Jessica. Okay, so Jessica, the first card we have here is the 9 of Wands. The 9, when you look at, you have to read both of it. The 9 is about all the knowledge and the cumulative effect of the wands, which is the energy and action. And when I tap into this card, usually I feel like, okay, this person has gained all this knowledge and they're charging off in a new direction, but actually I just feel kind of tired. So there's been a lot of learning that you've been going through, Jessica, a lot of lessons being learned, and you're just kind of tired. You're like, okay, enough already. I have learned all I need to learn. I just need to take a break. The next card coming up is a very positive card. It is a 6 of cups, and it's about sixes are about returning to a state of balance when it comes to your relationship. So that makes sense. You're learning all these lessons. You've learned so much, and you're just like, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm done. It's usually about that time when we're feeling exhausted and tired that we start returning to a state of balance, because we purposely pull back from our life and start looking around like, what do we need to take care of? What do we need to do to get our life back into a state of balance? And they're telling me that's exactly what you're doing. So this is about balance when it comes to relationships. And this is also about balance when it comes to relationship. They just bring a little bit different energy in it, because this is about harmony and balance. And this is about duality and balance. 2 balance cards. So right now, honey, if there's anything that you need to be doing, it's really about focusing on where are you expending your energy that you don't need to expend it? Where can you put up boundaries and start taking care of yourself? You do that by sitting with your emotions. You do that by sitting with your intuition. I also read these cards, intuitively. And when I saw this, I've never gotten this phrase when I looked at this card before, but I heard howling at the moon. So there are some emotions that you need to release. There are some things that you have kind of stuffed down and not processed completely, and you need to release those before you can return to a state of balance in your relationships. I'm not saying drop a grenade and blow all those relationships up, but I'm definitely saying make sure you are processing your feelings and you are speaking your mind. All right. Thank you, Miss Jessica. She said so true that she has been so tired. I feel that. All right. I'm hearing Grandma Ellie, Ellen. So let's stick with that for a moment. Grandma Ellie. Grandma energy. I'm hearing this E name around her. Ellie, Ellen, Elfrey. She's showing me that she was alive in the time where people, either that she was really poor. But she's showing me in the beginning of her life cooking on a wood burning stove. Yes, as she got older, she did have the appliances that we have today, but she is showing me when in the beginning of her even marriage, she cooked on a wood burning stove and made bread that way. And she's showing me just making everything from scratch and just kneading that bread. She had a lot of children. She is showing me cooking. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of children. She's showing me cooking for a lot of people. She didn't show me a lot of kids. She showed me cooking for a lot of people. And it was just, I was like, oh my goodness, because she is showing me making all this food. I mean, she worked for hours and hours making bread and doing all this, and then it's just gone. They came through. It was like the locusts descended and ate everything. And I was like, oh my goodness. But I would have been like, I'm done. Y'all have to cook for yourself now, because I just spent 15 hours in here and y'all ate it in 5 seconds. But she was not bitter. She was someone who was like, no, she loved it. It was her love language. These must have been her children, because she is showing me trying, like their shoes, everyone trying on shoes to see who has to have the new shoes, because they were going to be passed down to the other people. Very religious. She's getting her children together. She believed in them presenting very well to the world. And she is showing me getting all these kids ready for church. And, she's slicking back hair and making sure everyone is just so they didn't have a lot of money. The kids really didn't realize it. I mean, they knew things were tight. They wore hand-me-downs, but that's just what they did back in the day. And no one ever went hungry. Does this lady sound familiar to anyone? I know I'm going to call y'all out, right? I don't know if y'all might not, if y'all have never seen me read on Zoom before. But those of you who have seen me read on Zoom, you know I will call you out. All right. I'm just going to tell her to take me. Okay, so she's taking me to a part of my screen that has Alexa and Brittany in it. Does she belong to either one of you?
I had a reading with you 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and there was someone who was similar. I haven't had a lot of loss in my life, thank God.
Right.
So I don't recognize my spirits, but I remember someone sounding very similar, and you kept saying that she was showing you a rolling pin and like a blue kitchen, and her hair was back in a bun.
Very good. Yes.
Everything
yes,
else was similar, but it wasn't.
yes. Yeah. Okay. Very good. So now, y'all can imagine if Brittany had a reading with me 3 years ago, I wouldn't remember that. So good on this lady for presenting differently anyway. She is talking. She shows me, Brittany, you have all these, like you're juggling a bunch of things. There's like 12 things in the air and you're like juggling them and you're doing it with a lot of joy. You do it with grace. I was about to say ease and she stopped me and she's like, no, grace. So you do it with a lot of grace. It's
You ready for this?
so que some babies.
Say hello. So we're juggling a lot of babies.
Yes.
I nurse on the weekends,
Oh.
12-hour nights.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there's beautiful chaos.
Yes. And you handle it with such grace. And she is showing me that, girl, you are, which you can imagine, you're so tired. Like that tired that even if you went and slept for 12 hours, you were still going to be tired. It's that bone tired. And she is saying, this too shall pass. This too shall pass, meaning you're just being so tired. And before you know it, those babies are going to be grown. And she shows me some beautiful moments of them just graduating and getting married and all those beautiful life moments. She's also referencing what a good partnership you and your husband have. Like y'all.
He is. I mean, he probably changes more diapers and gives more baths than I do. It's 50-50 all around.
And he is also very supportive of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like he understands the emotions that you might be, well, he might not understand them completely, but he doesn't judge emotions that you may have about the situation. Now, I know you a little bit because I know you just took one of my classes. So, but she, and I would never have expected to see you do it, but you're having an emotional breakdown.
I do get those. I'm a bottler. So
I was going to say, I've seen you in the classes. I didn't remember the reading 3 years ago, but I do. You just took the intro class, so I do remember you from that. Brittany always has this beautiful smile on her face. I never would have envisioned her having a meltdown, but she feels like a great grandmother, is showing me, and your husband just takes it in stride. Like you're having this meltdown and he's just letting you have it. He's letting you express these emotions and he's like supports you, but he goes about his business. Like he doesn't really let it affect him.
He just picks up the kids and he's like, go lay down, go take a nap, go do what you got to do.
Yeah.
He just slips up and goes along.
Which one, if I ever have a meltdown, my husband is having a meltdown because I never have meltdowns. So if I have a meltdown, he's having one with me because he's like, what, who's dying? Is the world coming to an end?
It's not super often, but yeah, when it happens, he's like, okay, mama needs a break.
Absolutely. And I love that. I'm hearing tweet. Okay. So I don't know if you've ever heard this song. You're very young for it, Brittany, but have you ever heard that song, Rockin' Robin? Tweet, Rockin' Robin?
Yeah.
Have you?
I have. I'm older than I look. I'm 36.
That's still, I mean, I'm 50. How old am I? 55. And that was like kind of before my time. So she is anything to do with robins, she sends your way, whether it's the bird robin, whether it's a song robin, whether it is a picture robin. This is going to be her letting you know that you are supported. And
They're
she
always
says,
out my tree right outside the
oh,
door.
are they? And you're done. You're done with babies?
We are done with babies.
Yeah, that's what
I have
she
a
said.
4-year-old and the twins, and Mama's tired.
Yeah, that's what she said. Because I was asking her, I said, oh, would they have more babies? She's like, no, they're done with babies.
But I did, listen, it's going to break your heart. I'm so sorry. I had 2 miscarriages, and we talked to, on our reading a couple years ago, we talked to them, and you had felt that we were going to have a boy in January. We ended up we were going to get pregnant in January. We ended up getting pregnant in April with twin girls. They were born on New Year's Eve.
I was off on you getting pregnant a few months, is what this is about, Brittany.
And that was 2 girls instead of which our miscarriages were male. So I think I wanted it so bad, I probably just kind of.
No, that's the reason I always say, don't decorate a nursery on what I say. You do not.
But we wouldn't have it any other way.
Absolutely not. And so had y'all been trying? Is that why I was talking about you having a baby?
We had been trying. We had the miscarriages, and it turns out I'll bring you back up now. It was my body. You were saying, like, I don't know anything medical. My body was able to get pregnant, but not stay pregnant. So I needed to take this progesterone pill to help support my uterus. And we did that. And the first cycle we did that, we ended up getting the twins.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Well, I'm glad I was right on part of it. So when you do come for, whenever, just for anyone watching or who watches this later, I will give a little caveat. Whenever you come for readings, and babies coming into this world, there can be so much turbulent energy around that. So now if I said that she was going to get pregnant in January, but she didn't get pregnant until what, April? Is that right?
April. They were born December 31st. So yeah. They came right near January.
Right. So I would actually take that as a win, in that she was pregnant within a few months of when I said it was going to happen. Just because those things are they can be very iffy. Because what happens is the medium reads energy as it is, and there's so much free will and things that happen, especially when people are having problems getting pregnant. I just read someone on TikTok about that. All right, thanks, Grandma. Someone has a question. I eat with those, haha, lucky girl. Jessica you need one of those babies, Jessica? Oh my goodness. Okay, Jenny, let's do Jenny wants a card read. Well, she said me, so we'll give her a card read. No, the understanding husband. Oh, it was you on TikTok. Oh, okay. Yes, Jenny. So I was not going to, I didn't realize it was the same Jenny, because her name is Jen on TikTok. So I think it's not an accident, Brittany, that this reading came up and that your grandmother came up and started mentioning it, because I was just reading Jenny on TikTok about her having a baby and when that was going to happen for her and everything.
Yeah. I haven't been getting your notifications, your live notifications. So there were a lot of things that lined up for me to find you live today.
Very good. It was meant to be. All right. So mad at TikTok. I'm mad at TikTok for that too. Because that algorithm, let me tell you, social media is a beast. All right. I want to thank everyone for joining me today here. It was kind of fun. I mean, I'm new to doing it this way on YouTube, but it's more fun because I didn't like going live on YouTube because you couldn't see people. You couldn't really read them. You're just kind of doing this blind, let me just read you, and there's no confirmation. But whenever I do it this way, it's a lot more fun. Thank y'all. I hope everyone has a great weekend. If y'all don't belong to my Divine Collective, we have a couple of things coming up this weekend. If you do, listen up. I mean, you will get a notification. There's a group reading on Sunday at 10. And then on Monday night, we're playing with cards. So you get to come, and I will give some education on cards. But cards are so intuitive. People think that they need to just memorize the meanings. if you memorize the meanings, then you can get in your head too much. You kind of want to know a little bit of what they're about, but you want to also read them intuitively. Oh, look at that. Dee just put my, good job, Dee. Thank you. See, I don't need my moderator. Dee's doing just fine. All right. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good weekend.